Top 10 Worst Japanese Cars Ever Made. Today we're counting down the top 10 worst Japanese cars ever made. Some of these cars are so shocking, they'll make you wonder if the engineers were half asleep at the drawing board. Number 10. Suzuki X1090. The Suzuki X90 looked like something a teenager would draw on the back of a notebook. Part coupe, part SUV, part what were they thinking? The X90 confused everyone when it arrived in the mid-90s. With only 95 horsepower, a two-seat interior, tiny trunk space, and a body design that looked like a toy car, it didn't fit into any category. It wasn't practical. It wasn't sporty. And it definitely wasn't good-looking. Americans took one look and said, "Yeah, no thanks." It flopped almost instantly. Number 9. Mitsubishi Mirage, 7th Gen. The Mitsubishi Mirage used to be a respectable small car. But the 2010s version? That was a masterclass in cutting corners. The interior felt like it was sculpted out of recycled lunch trays. The three-cylinder engine sounded like it wanted to quit its job. And the CVT transmission made every trip feel like torture. It was slow, flimsy, noisy, and built to be cheap, not good. Americans expecting Japanese quality were massively disappointed. Number 8. Toyota Yaris Verso. Yes, Toyota made the list. Even the king of reliability isn't perfect. The Yaris Verso, sold in Japan and Europe, looked like a minivan designed from inside a funhouse mirror. Tall, narrow, awkward, and strange, it became a punchline wherever it went. Sure, it was practical. But people buy Toyotas because they want something that doesn't make strangers laugh at them in parking lots. It's one of the few Toyota designs that still makes fans cringe. Number 7. Subaru 360. The Subaru 360 was Japan's first mass-produced car, launched in the late 1950s. But when it arrived in the US in the late 1960s, it became an instant disaster. The tiny 356 cubic centimeters engine made just 25 horsepower. The 360 could barely hit 55 miles per hour, and crash tests showed it crumpled like a soda can. Consumer Reports famously called it the most hazardous car on the American road. Subaru was lucky this thing didn't destroy the brand before it even started. Number 6. Mazda RX-8. Rotary engines are cool until they aren't. The Mazda RX-8 looked great and handled beautifully. But its 1.3-liter Wankel engine was a nightmare. Premature apex seal wear, flooding issues, poor fuel economy, and constant maintenance plagued the car from day one. Mazda wanted to keep the rotary legend alive, but the RX-8 became its downfall. It was unreliable, thirsty, and expensive to fix. By the end, even die-hard rotary fans admitted, "Yeah, this thing is a problem." Number 5. Nissan Cube. Some people liked it. Most people didn't. The Nissan Cube was Japan's attempt to get quirky and cool. Instead, it looked like a refrigerator with wheels. The asymmetrical rear window was weird. The styling was weird. The interior ripple effect ceiling was weird. It tried to be a Japanese Scion XB, but instead it became a rolling meme. In America, buyers took one look and ran back to normal cars. Number 4. A Mitsubishi i-MiEV. Before electric cars were cool, Mitsubishi attempted an early EV. And oh boy! The i-MiEV had 62-mile range. Slow charging. 47 kilowatts, 63 horsepower. A body that looked like a jelly bean. It was one of the slowest, weakest, most limited EVs ever sold in the US. Reviewers called it dangerously slow, and the interior looked like a budget rental car from 1998. Even Mitsubishi quietly pretends this car never happened. Number 3. Toyota Cressida, late models. The Toyota Cressida had a great reputation early on, but the late 80s and early 90s versions had a fatal flaw. Toyota's 3.0-liter 7M GE engine. This engine was notorious for blowing head gaskets, often at low mileage. The design used weak factory torque specs that allowed the gasket to fail over time. Owners expecting Toyota reliability instead got massive repair bills. It's one of the rare Toyotas known more for braking than lasting. Number 2, Honda Crosstour. Imagine taking a Honda Accord, adding a giant sloped rear end, raising it halfway to SUV height, and calling it a crossover. That was the Honda Crosstour. It was bulky, awkward-looking, hard to see out of, and way more expensive than a regular Accord. Americans weren't fooled. They asked, why does this exist? Honda pulled it off the market after poor sales and harsh reviews. It's one of Honda's biggest misfires in the US. Number 1, Nissan Juke. Here it is. The worst Japanese car ever made, at least in the eyes of millions of Americans. The Nissan Juke had frog-eye headlights, strange bulging fenders, weird proportions, a face only a mother could love. Yes, it was fun to drive. Yes, the turbo engine was peppy. But most Americans couldn't get past the styling. It looked like a Pokemon evolution gone wrong. The interior felt cheap, the CVT had issues, and the design aged horribly. Some cars are ugly. But the Juke was iconically ugly. And there you have it, the top 10 worst Japanese cars ever made. Japan may be the global king of reliability, but even they've built some disasters. If you enjoyed this, hit like, subscribe, and let me know which country's worst cars you want next. Germany? Italy? Korea? I've got lists for days.